Episode 9 of My Dress Up Darling was definitely a solid episode. Now, it's funny. Sorry for anybody that watched my last episode impressions. For some reason, I had wrote down Shinji, not Shinju. So, yes, a full episode focused pretty much mostly on Shinju as a character. And it really going back to the previous episode talking about why doesn't she cosplay? If she loves it so much, why doesn't she cosplay? And it was interesting to, I guess, draw parallels between both Marin and Shinju when it comes to that respect that Juju has to the cosplay. And that when Gojo finally kind of confronts her and said, no, look, you really like this. Why don't you cosplay? She pretty much points out, look, I with my body type, I don't think I would be able to do it. The one character that I want to do so badly, I wouldn't be able to do it. And of course, sure enough, it has to turn out to be a male character, which is the brother of Black Lily, I think it was. And yeah, so she's got a little bit of an issue there, which it's nice how they address it and how they go about this whole process of elimination in order to get her to that point that she could do that. It's pointing out the idea that this is a complex thing, obviously, to, the way that they contort their body. I mean, we went through the whole aspect of taping eyes and stuff like that in order to get them closer to the character. But this is like a full-on physique change that we really haven't addressed at this point. Through Juju's perspective, it's do whatever you actually fit the character. From Marin's perspective is I don't want to tarnish the name of the character itself. I want to make it as, on the spot as possible. And again, technically cosplaying what your figure will allow, even though she uses a whole bunch of these things in order to bring it up. In the perspective of Shinju, it's the same. It's the same as what her sister feels, but that hesitation she has is through that strictness that she sees in Juju. And again, that's where it ties back to the previous episodes and this idea that Juju believed that Marin was disrespectful of cosplay. She didn't take it serious enough. But it wasn't until Marin points out the idea that, no, I would never do that character because I wouldn't do it justice. I would insult that character by cosplaying it. That was respectful to Juju, and Juju liked that. It's kind of hinting at the idea that Shinju's seen the same thing, that her sister was so into cosplay and was so serious about it, it was something that she couldn't overcome. It was a fear that she couldn't overcome, that if she did it and she botched it, basically, she did a weird cosplay, her sister would be angry, and she did not want that. She wanted to be respectful of the thing that her sister loved so much, and so she never did it. So yes, it's a huge smile on my face the moment that everybody's like super excited about how well it turned out, how much work they had to put into wrapping her. They used a bee holder and a wrap and then some shoulders in order to really kind of buff it up, and it turned out fantastic. And I love the little scene where they're both just going super crazy about it, and it's really great for her. And again, they technically want pictures and everything. It was really cute because I think it hits heavy on this idea that the sister, Shinju, was always kind of an observer. She was never involved with the cosplay. She took pictures of her sister. She thought it was really cute and she wanted to post them. But it's that point which it's almost as if they became equals. They look really cute when they were both standing there as equals in this kind of, co-cosplay, sibling cosplay thing they end up doing in the end. But yes, that travel to that point was fantastic. Again, the trial and error they went through in order to make it work. And yes, having the booba ballista happen, shoots past his head. I think that's kind of one of those stupid jokes that never gets old, depending on how they execute. And I think they execute it really well here. I love it when it switches over the chibi form and she's like super flat and it's like that whole, pressure's building up thing. And then, yeah, it was goofy. I know it's a trope, but it was a funny trope. I still enjoy it. But I it's so sad because I like Juju. Don't get me wrong. I think Juju's a great character. She has a great personality about her. We've had her already go through some really funny moments. But I think what happened to Shinju, I think, was a lot more solidifying for me. Yeah, granted, we got Juju's backstory and why she's so passionate about the cosplay. But because of her character type she's not really... we don't get to know much about her because of how quiet she is. Again, last episode, we did get a very vulnerable side of her and an expression of what she's going through that kind of shocked me, because typically with jealousy, they don't really like to express that. And to tell Gojo jealousy was a little bit shocking, but I think this was a solid side of Shinju, and maybe probably because it's more of a vulnerable side, a side that she was uncomfortable, and we're trying to pull her out of that uncomfortableness. It helps you connect to a character a lot faster. But no, the rest of the episode was great as well, having Marin basically throwing Gojo through a loop. I will say at this point, I hope that they don't keep doing this. I get a kick out of the aspect of Marin like just lifting up her skirt and going, oh, it's just a bathing suit kind of thing. We've done that a couple times already. It's fine. I get a kick out of it. It's funny. I love Marin's, kind of overly confidence in herself and Gojo just completely flipping out. here now we're kind of adding the aspect of her realizing Gojo is a little bit of an ecchi, and so she kind of gets in there and teases him. But it's the aspect of him almost going overboard, like that he goes over the border with, don't touch me kind of thing. It's like, I hope they don't keep doing that, because it turns it from something funny to something like, really? Is that bad, dude? So, I don't know. I kind of hope that they'll get over this kind of repetitiveness, but at the same time, I still get a kick out of it every time. I just feel like I'm going to get tired of it. And again, it always makes it feel wrong at the very end whenever he's that, like, get away from me kind of thing. You know why he's saying that, but still. But yeah, the try-on scene was great. How much Juju really enjoyed the outfit that he made. He was kind of relieved of that whole situation. Having Marin off the side, kind of getting a little bit, not jealous, but kind of wishing that she had as much knowledge as Juju so that she can point out things being good or bad. Kind of a little bit of jealousy in how Juju's able to respond to everything that he's done for her. But again, it always seems like when there's a chance that it'll get to a jealousy point with Marin, it never goes there. It always feels like either she's very confident about it or she just knows Gojo well enough that he's not doing something. It's refreshing, obviously, to see a character who doesn't see like, oh, he's talking to this person, I need to start flipping out in my head about how this person's a thieving cat. It's not doing that. I don't know if it's just playing on the idea that she's very trusting of people around her, or just more the idea that she knows Gojo and Gojo's not that way. But yeah, seeing Marin freak out about her outfit was super cute. It was way good. And this idea of like, have I always been this character? But no, it was again, we kind of went back to that idea that Marin doesn't know what eye taping is. And like I said, I swear she talked about eye taping. It must have been Gojo was looking something up. I got to go look back at it. I don't know why it's driving me crazy. But yeah, the final kind of scene that I forgot to talk about was really around Gojo and Shinju, in the idea of the expectations of other people, and the idea that she had these expectations that Gojo is perfect, like he could do anything. And so to have him kind of hesitate on cutting this hair, she was a little relieved. And that goes back to Gojo and him kind of relaying to her that I had the same feeling. I had somebody that I respected a lot, and I really kind of looked up to them thinking that they were perfect. And then I learned more about them and realized there's a lot of things they can't do. Obviously talking about Marin. But what was important in the scene was, yes, kind of making a correlation between the two of them, but between Shinju and Gojo, but also the idea that finally having Gojo say, she's really cute sometimes. And again, having that brief moment of panic and realizing that he really likes Marin. So we're going to hopefully, not that it's anything new. Gojo obviously has an attraction to Marin. He obviously thinks that she's cute, she's beautiful, all these things, but he's still, I guess, in the phase of she's somebody that I could never touch. She's obviously too good for me, and so I'll never have that. So I guess it's just a moment in which he'll realize, connect the two dots, please. I hope we get that before the end of the core. If you're reading the manga, don't tell me. But yeah, we only have like 3 episodes left, so hopefully we get some sort of really solid, not that they have to start dating and going out and everything, just some sort of acknowledgement between the two of them, unless we get a second season announced, which that's a possibility too. So again, Marin showing off her bras and realizing it's not the one she wanted to show off. It's like, why does that embarrass you? It's not the fancy one. Anyways, that's my thoughts on episode 9 of My Dress Up Darling. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below, comment, let me know about the episode. I did like interesting to see that, I don't know, I would probably say it's maybe a 60-30 on my, did anybody else get confused by this final scene of the last episode? So I didn't feel too alone on that one, but yeah, anyways, subscribe if you haven't already. Show us faith if you can. Support us on Patreon. I'll throw a tips link in the description below. We definitely appreciate everybody does. And y'all take care.